It might come as a minor consolation that Australia is not the only place where the benefits of Western civilisation need to be explained. Alex Epstein, the author of Fossil Future, a book that makes a compelling moral case for the use of oil, coal and gas to deliver people from poverty, was recently accused of white supremacy in a congressional hearing in the United States. He responded by saying this.
So I think I addressed very clearly this idea of any kind of racism, and she attributed this as almost an exact quote, me talking about the racial superiority of Western culture, and I clarified probably 5 times that Western culture has nothing to do with race, and it's about ideas, particularly individualism, freedom, and reason. So,
individuals and freedom. You won't get the proponents of the voice, not even the Prime Minister of this country, saying anything like that. Instead, we are being urged to divert down a path where our civilisation is recast as evil and white people must apologise for sins they never committed. 2 weeks ago, The Guardian published a pretentiously long essay that conflated slavery with colonialism by asking, what does society owe the descendants of enslaved and colonised people? Well, a more pertinent question would be, what do Guardian-reading environmentalists owe the Chinese Uyghur slaves who built their rooftop solar panels? That piece in The Guardian is titled More Than Money and argues for reparations, a constant underlying theme of all debates about Indigenous culture these days. The case against the voice to Parliament should be simple and reasonable. It will not solve any of the most urgent problems being faced by our most desperate Indigenous citizens. It will create a new constitutional body with powers that are ill-defined and could easily be increased by the woke High Court. It will stymie what is already a cumbersome and inefficient federal political process. It is the first of a 3-stage process that also includes a treaty, which in turn could lead to a separate state for Indigenous people, and a supposed truth commission, which will focus solely on the evils of white settlement and none of its obvious benefits. It might lead to crippling reparations paid by people who did nothing to people who were never victims. And, worst of all, it will create 2 classes of Australian citizens. Unfortunately, while the Yes case has already taken off, the people behind the No campaign against this proposed referendum are still tying their shoelaces. Well, to get them up to speed, here's a proposal for them. The people who are organising the No campaign should approach Indigenous sports stars, like tennis player Ash Barty, AFL player Adam Goodes, sprinter Kathy Freeman, and basketballer Patty Mills to get behind their case against the proposed voice to Parliament. All these Indigenous stars were suggested by Channel 10 on the weekend as potential ambassadors in favour of the voice to Parliament. But that's back to front. These sporting legends achieved enormous success without a voice to Parliament. All they really needed was an equal opportunity to thrive, which they had, and so they did. If the campaign against this disastrous referendum proposal doesn't get organised soon, Australia will be changed forever, and it won't be for the better.